on the takeoff to the
Yeah.
yellow, but it's still got to get it right. You don't want
But
to
then he'll be
leave it
taking
short.
a
You've got to
longer
get it up
takeoff
there.
to yellow. Yeah, yep, yeah. And yeah, you know, having black so far away from the hoop, your actual wide spot is a lot finer. So this does need to be really quite good here. So looks like from the camera angles we've got, we may not know until we see Trevor walk out there.
No, I was just going to say that I played Trevor sometime this year, and I did a cross-wiring leave, but I had to do a little bit like what Robert was doing, put some distance between the balls and hoop. And Trevor's first instinct was, I'm jumping this hoop. I'm not taking the long roquet at me, because Trevor sometimes doesn't like his long roquet if they're not coming out the best, and he much prefers the jump. And I was kind of thinking, I didn't think about that with Trevor. And luckily he missed it. It wasn't far off on the jump shot. But so I'm not saying Trevor is going to jump this, but it's always an option for Trevor.
Well, yeah, as we've mentioned, his mallet is, you know, quite specific as far as piece of equipment. Rob also barely looked at the wire there, so I'm assuming that he got the spot pretty much dead on where he wanted it to, and is just going to be setting up for the one back lead. So look, that the distance that those balls are apart from the hoop is about spot on if you want to be jumping it as well. It's really quite, you know, any player who's got the capability to jump hoops. And look, Robert is looking to set this up quite a lot further into the corner than you otherwise would. So the beauty of having the balls on the angle that Robert's got is you can find a wide spot from both balls for your one back ball behind hoop 3. So you can have a bit of a longer shot, and it gives you a better opportunity to peel after before hoop 2. But he looks like he's setting up for a bit of a shorter rush. So he's probably thinking in his head that, you know, they are in a good position to jump. So he wants to leave his balls a little bit closer together.
Yeah, even he can rush straight to hoop 2. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, still leaving them quite long. So
yeah, we're thinking this red's covered by both shots, isn't it? It's rewired from both blue and black.
Yeah, potentially through the peg or hoop 1. Doesn't look wide through hoop 3. It's, you know, quite a long way back, and probably a little bit too far east. A couple of options for Trev here. He's not taking clips off the hoop, so this looks like a shot.
Yep.
Oh, hey!
It was pretty solid too. There was a good over half a ball you get there. That's perfect swing.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And you know, he didn't absolutely cream that either. He's hit that just at a nice even pace. So as you mentioned yesterday, Trevor has a couple of paces that he shoots at. You know, one is an absolute spank, and one is, you know, just a nice, smooth, well-weighted shot. And that was clearly the latter. And so clearly feeling confident if he's hitting balls like that.
Yes, well, he looked really ready for the match. The opening shots were fantastic. It was only that hoop run that turned the balls over. So he's able to filter that out and walk back out on the court feeling, you know, just as good as he was. It's good. It's a good sign for the match.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as far as I'm aware, I can't get the rankings up at the moment, but the last sextuple that I remember Trevor doing was a sextuple on opponent in 2018. So I have, yeah, haven't seen if he's done one since then, but just the fact that having a sextuple on opponent in the last few years, you know, I'd be pretty surprised if he did one against Rob, but you never know. Could be in the back of his mind. We can hope. Really good to see both players getting turns on the lawn as well. Why we want to watch high level croquet if they're both in and playing well. Shows a good quality of hitting and finishing turns. So hopefully Trevor takes this ball right round and we see another leave. He's left that pretty straight, so oh no, just a touch long. He's run it easily. So well done, Trevor. Off to a good start in this break, and hopefully can continue it around, and we'll see another lead.
Yes, it has. Trevor's last sextuple was in 2018.
Yep.
I wonder if the one that sextuple on opponent was the doubles. I have a recollection of a doubles sextuple on opponent, but I can't recall what match it was.
So he did one in the Dixon Advisory in 2018 against Rob Elliott, I believe, where Rob failed in at one back, and he just the first shot was a, a rush through to one back all the way to one, so he played it well, and absolutely nailed the sextuple opponent and may have actually lost the game, which might be why you can't see it. It could be an OSXP.
Oh no, yeah, it'll be XSPO. Yeah, I've found it there. 100% right, Edward, against Rob Elliott and the Dixon, game 2 of the event, which was pretty good.
Yeah, it was absolutely outstanding. I remember after he did that, I got a bit riled up and was attempting a few, and I think I failed mine on Rover against yourself. Unfortunately, there we go.
That looks tougher than Hoop 1.
Yeah, that is. He's looking at other options, isn't he? It looks makeable. It still looks less than 45. You can see sort of our line looking at the corner peg. And unfortunately not. Righto. So where's Robert's one back ball ended up? Hoop one ball. Because that actually looks like it could be in a bit of a position that he could set this up easily if yellow's got a shot somewhere.
Yellow's just to the west of Hoop 3, is it?
Yeah. good shot.
Yeah, good clean strike, isn't it? You had to get inside the hoop to be able to hit it that clean. So
Yeah, and clearly not looking to make that hoop. Well, not clearly, but he's still got other options if he wanted to continue that break around. You'd have to think that he'll be resetting here.
Yeah, for this, well, Trevor's obviously hitting all right, so he has a chance to hit Robert back in, but it'll be a good test of skills to play what would effectively be like a sets tuple from a super advanced game, not a set lead from a one back situation, a one back lead situation. But what the English will be used to are getting into super advanced rules of set tuples.
Yeah, I've yet to see it played out. Trying sextuplets from those sorts of positions. Not something we have to deal with very often.
No. So it'll be a good test of thinking about this lead and thinking of the ball movement, early on.
Yeah. So it looks like Robert, for where he's rushed that, getting it, behind hoop 2, which would be what most people would look at doing, is tough. But it looks like he's going to be setting this near hoop 3 and potentially with red and yellow on the boundary behind hoop 3, wide from that ball. So leaving himself a 30-yarder. Sorry, leaving Trevor a 30-yarder on black, and the only shot back or forth leaves Robert with balls everywhere.
And no safe shot for Trevor that whenever he decides to play, Robert has
exactly.
a pretty good start. Yeah. Good shot.
That's gone. It's a little bit further east of where he would have liked it, so he won't be able to nestle right up to the corner. But that will give him a bit of room if black does shoot through. Does mean that his rush that he'll have to set with red and yellow will be a little bit closer to actually have them both be wide from blue. So ideally in that situation, you want blue sort of
he can control
a yard and a half.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about options for Trevor here? Pete, whereabouts would you look at shooting for Trevor?
I'm not sure. I'm going to put it out there again. It's Trevor will like the look of this jump shot.
That's a great point. And going at 2 balls.
Ball and a bit target, so you may not have to worry about the unlucky bounce over a ball if you've got 2 balls or even a ball and a bit of a target.
Wow, Robert is putting this a long way away. It's well out of fine control distance, so he might have a bit of a window that he can get these 2 balls into.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly where black was down.
It's about a yard and a half dead in front of hoop 1.
Okay.
Wow, so this might be a quite good target for Trevor here. If there's 2 balls lined up, as you're saying, rather than a rush outwards.
Yeah, I wonder how much of Trevor hitting that last roquet pretty well in the middle influences what he does, because if he had missed that one, then the jumps might have been coming to his mind more, but he may just trust his swing again.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not sure what shot's coming up here.
Well, yet again, it is if he hits, if he chooses to play black down and hits, it is a really nice looking break for him, and still not, straight, like, well, not quite as easy for Robert to
No,
get a
Robert has
sextuple
to play some
going.
good shots.
It,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that might be on. Oh, here we go. So he is looking at the jump. As far as opportunities to jump, this is quite a nice one, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you're saying, you've got your risk of bouncing over and not hitting the other ball is taken out of account. Oh,
Just to the right.
I didn't see if that went to the side. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Righto.
So it must
So
have been
now,
always chance on red. Yep.
yeah, exactly. And now the opportunity to actually hit for Robert here, to make a sextuple out of this is quite a lot higher. We can rush blue all the way to the boundary, get it in position at hoop 2 with a good rush on red. So he's giving himself every opportunity to have the peel done on red before hoop 2.
Well,
Now,
directly after hoop
is yellow
2
lined in?
is also a bugbone. Even not peeling partner before hoop 2, but directly after hoop 2. Sorry, directly before hoop 2 is a huge advantage.
Yeah, massive
I've been able to
advantage,
set
and
it
he's got
down
an
to 2
opportunity
back
to do it.
in control. Yeah, it's very much, which is very much a bit like the difference between.
Just not sure if yellow actually has been lined in there. It actually looked further out on the boundary, and I almost mentioned it while Robert was in play that he hadn't lined it in, but figured that it was just inside the boundary.
Yeah.
So we'll see here what sort of shot he has on it. Guessing just the fact that he's walking on. Thought there may have been a break, but this is an interesting one. It actually, to my eye, looks further onto the boundary than blue does.
To be fair for Trevor, Trevor would have known, even if it was lined in properly, if he would have hit it or not, and he would have just lined himself in anyway. I think Robert
Here we
will
go.
offer him
So
the option. Trevor will know that it was probably missing anyway, and he's not wanting to look for any replay.
So he is pulling it out. Okay. It's definitely not, lined in, is it? Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it could just be a trick of the camera.
Well, not where Robert's. He's looking for a cut to the corner, isn't he? Or
a cut to the corner,
spot to cut to give himself a clear path.
Righto. So opportunity to peel before hoop 1 and an opportunity to peel before hoop 2. So multiple advantages for Robert out of the shot that Trevor took. Where if he does, immediately go past, it does take that out of Robert's opportunity stage. So if he shot with black, less likely. So Roberts didn't quite have room there to get blue all the way up. So he'll really want a good rush on red here.
So it's either peel before hoop 1 now, or peel after hoop 2, really.
After hoop 2, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a line of play that Robert plays quite regularly because he is a very good rusher. He's not happy with that one, and you can see why he's overhit that a long way. So we'll just so when you're playing a turn like this, as I mentioned, Robert regularly takes that rush on and sacrifices position of the hoop 2 pioneer. but some players would opt to try and get that hoop 2 pioneer in a good position, and not have quite as good of a rush on partner. Choosing to have a little bit more control around hoop 2, so you give yourself a good chance of peeling before hoop 2 and then playing on from there, rather than trying to force to get the peel before hoop 1.
I think the
Which
best
could have been-
example of what you're describing there, Edward, is Reg Bamford type of sacrifices that load for hoop 2 to have a loaded hoop 3-ish, and looks to always do that rush that Robert attempted to peel before hoop 1, whereas Fulford sets tupples seem to be designed to get both balls over to hoop 2 and peel after hoop 1, but before hoop 2.
Yeah, for sure.
The good thing, about Robert is he can play it anyway. He's not thinking I must do it this way. He's got all the tools to play both scenarios.
Yep.
And do you have a preference yourself, Edward, when you're setting for a sets tuple?
Yeah, I was just going to say I definitely prefer to get both balls over to hoop 2. I don't like, if you set your leave well, and I leave a slightly shorter shot by bringing my balls up on the boundary, so I look to get a wide position for the one back ball behind hoop 3, sort of a yard-ish behind hoop 3, with my other ball 4 or 5 yards out towards the boundary. So it's only a 4 or 5 yard rush on that ball, so I can get it over if Oppo decides to corner. It won't be quite as clean, but still an okay shot.
When did you last have someone corner on you in a sets tuple?
Dwayne's done it to me a couple of times. But it is rare. But then, so when they shoot down, it does give you the room to get the ball across and still have a rush on partner. So I quite like that. So it does give you the opportunity to get the peel before 1, but you've also got a ball over there. And I'm happy to give them another few yards, because not many people hit T-ladies. And if they do, I'm not concerned about another 3 yards of distance. So
not that I have much experience of completing sets tuples, but the era I came through, there was only one way, and that was getting up into the 4th corner, and there was no lines of play, exactly what you're describing, of that ball tucked close or a yard away from hoop 3. But once I saw it in 10 years ago or something, and that was the line of play Robert Fulford was playing, I thought, this is so much better. So it was quite a change up to now flip between the two and try to practice that. But I do think exactly what you're saying. I think it's, to me, is certainly the preferred route if you can manipulate it.
Yeah, but it is interesting, because Robert, as you're saying, he does have the option between the two, but he almost always opts for having the shorter rush in the corner, and playing it, as you're saying, Reg does.
Yep.
So he's a Reg fan, in the lines of play that Reg chooses, and it's hard not to be, because Reg is good.
But the good thing is the Reg stats and Robert Fulford stats are just phenomenal. But it shows that you can do it both ways.
Yep.
Did you see how far Peely went down, Henry?
It looked like it peeled quite cleanly. I didn't see exactly where it ended up, but Rob is playing down on this a fair amount, so not sure that he's sending it all the way to 2 back, and he hasn't. So it's a little short, that shot. Doesn't have a great rush on black, so not entirely sure what he was attempting with that one. So a tough approach to this hoop here.
Tough approach, yeah.
This is a good angle to be doing it on though, because the natural angle to make this shot easier is to still be on the line to take the rush.
We can't quite see what sort of setup he's going to be able to have to work with 2 back to hoop 4 or 5. Well, to hoop 2 to 4 anyway. I'm not sure what it's got down there.
Yep.
But a rush would be handy. No,
it hasn't got it. Well, I will let you take this sex tuple through, and I'll hopefully join back in a little while. So I'll see you folks.
Hopefully the turn's still going.
Yeah. No, I hope so also. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so looking at the balls there, blue's a little bit north than ideal. So Robert may be setting for peeling 2 back going to hoop 5, but there is an opportunity that he can peel 2 back, but he needs a good cut rush then on the blue ball. It'll be interesting to see what line of play he takes.
Looks a bit like a rush on the red ball, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, he's going to red ball now to set up the peel on 2 back or peel 2 back, but he needs to get blue over hoop 4. So I think he's just going to be setting this up quite tight and will be taking off to the blue ball to go to hoop 4. But it's a big difference, this line of play, if sets tuples get completed or not. If he's able to get that 2 back peel early, then it's just becomes quite a delayed quadruple peel finish. He's got some angle there that he can manipulate it into the jaw. It's a tough shot. Or even right on the jaw would be good, because a rush peel would be also handy after hoop 4. But it's a bit of a treat for anyone out there watching this match, because this is
he hasn't done it there.
Yeah.
Has he? It should slip right past the front. That's not worried.
It did. He was looking for a bit of that leg to sit on the jaw, but he's importantly got a nice rush on blue to 4, so all under control. But just one peel slightly behind schedule, what he'd like. A rush would be nice out of this hoop, but it's a bit of a risk because you've got to get very close to this hoop to be able to control it. Robert doesn't take too much risk on the hoop, so he'll take a bit of time on running this, I think, if he is looking for some sort of cut rush as a result. Don't want to get too much grab. No, he's putting it right through. No risk there from Robert. This is very good, Kate. It's been a long time since I've got to commentate on a sextuple, and a good live sextuple that's got a probably more than an even chance of finishing.
They're very impressive. You've got all the delicacy of going around doing the break, and then you've got the complicating thing into that you're picking up your partner ball the whole time and putting it through its hoops as you go. Already. The result of what he's done already is to avoid that lift that you would normally give away after 1 back. So it's been an advantage, whatever, hasn't it? There's no lift.
Yes, yeah,
Until he
there's
gets to
certainly that
fullback,
is.
so he can go right round. So with the rules about lifts, am I right in thinking that it's the first ball that runs one back and full back in its own turn? So the fact that red has run one back doesn't. If yellow goes round to the peg, goes through one back, goes through four back, that still gives away lift and contact. That's right, isn't it?
It gives away contact.
Even although
correct,
red
yes.
has run, one back, but not in its own turn. So it
it's
doesn't.
The ball position at the start of the turn.
So it doesn't stop. It doesn't mean that yellow no longer gives away contact. Yellow can still give away contact.
No. So seeing red started in a position not being through one back, it means that's the takes precedence. So yellow would give away a contact if he goes through four back on this turn.
Yeah. So what he really wants
it's
to
a
do
good question, Kate. Yeah.
Because if he completes the sextuple, then even though he's given away contact, he actually has gone to the peg anyway. So the other player doesn't get a turn at all.
No, but very seldom would Robert. He's either finishing the sextuple or possibly breaking down.
Yeah.
It would be rare for Robert to say get to the peg and still have one peel to go or something. He probably would put a bit of risk into trying to get that sorted. So even if he does quit under control and he's peg and rover or penultimate peg, he's in a pretty healthy position.
He's actually peeled two back. So
he's peeled two back.
Two peels done out of the six.
The big bonus there, Kate, is red hasn't peeled through very far. That means after hoop 5, he can return towards corner 1 with black and have a lot of room to manipulate the red ball over to free back and still get black into a useful position. So if that red peels through two back by a yard or two, it limits what you can achieve after hoop 5. So he took great care of just getting the peel through by the smallest of margin.
I think the first sextuple I ever saw was in a doubles match where Robert was playing, maybe with Kerry Ann Organ, who had, I think, broken down after 6. And there was a bit of consultation between the partners, and then Robert did a sextuple and put it through all the others.
Yes, well, he'd be a good partner to have for the doubles, wouldn't he, if he's got that in his arsenal. Good job. So Robert has the option of putting blue over towards free back as well, or he also has the option of putting blue up between who sits in one back, would be about his ratio. But what he's trying to do is make sure he gets a rush on this red ball over to free back. That's his priority. Yeah. And he's looking to putting blue up the line between who sits in one back. He's playing a little bit more straight, so it's going straight to one back. But he'll be giving himself a bit of room to get this rush. If this rush can go to free, he's coming up a little bit short, but still cuttable. But it may not mean that he gets it right in front of free back. He played this shot yesterday while we're commentating, and he left it a few yards short, and maybe I think he'll be giving us a bit more of a punch.
And that little nick onto hoop 1 didn't matter at all because it's was taking croquet, so he just bring it over. It doesn't matter at all.
Again, just a little bit short for the ideal
So
setup.
the next hoop this ball is to run is indeed 3 back, but the next hoop that yellow is to run, it's for 6, isn't it? Am I right?
Correct, yes.
So
It's very
one
similar to what he
five.
was faced with yesterday. He ended up having to peel 3 back going to the blue to 1 back. So it's a couple of big shots coming up. It's a nice rush, settle things down. So he's had a few shots in a row here. He has ran hoop 5. He ran hoop 5 with good control and actually swapped the blue and the black over to get a better position. So he's up to hoop 6. That's good. He's got a controllable rush. Sorry, Kate.
Peter, are you conscious of other sextuples being recorded on video?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, we don't have many in Australia. There is plenty of sextuples completed in England, and certainly plenty in America if their conditions are a little bit easier. And there's a couple of prolific sextuplers in America, and they generally have a lot of recording done, but it may not be out there. When we get a break at some time, we can look up on YouTube, because I take it if it has been recorded, it will be on YouTube. Someone would have posted it, so we'll be able to have a look for that. But if this one finishes, that'll be fantastic. We'll have a recorded sextuple with a little bit of interaction in between it getting going and everything. It's be great.
Hmm.
And not that we are cheering only for Robert. We would like Trevor to be still part of this match. So the ideal world is Robert finishes the sextuple. Trevor wins game 2.
We are absolutely, we're not on either side. We're just interested in the question about the sextuple. But of course, Trevor is very much still in this match and being a best of 3, even if this succeeds.
Ideal.
No
So we
guarantee
get to 1 game all when we can have no bias for the third game.
Absolutely, yeah.
So a big croquet stroke coming up. The peel, I think, will be, well, it should be close. If it doesn't go through it, I'd take it. It won't be far off, be stuck in the jaws. But he needs to get this yellow nicely onto the blue ball to rush to 1 back. Takes a bit of skill. So it's not bad land coming through there. If I remember this court, you can play this pretty accurately and know that the ball will go where you want. That's a good shot, red through. And he's got a bit of distance on the rush and a bit of cut. So the yellow squirted a little bit there. It's not exactly where Robert will be happy with. He didn't the yellow didn't kind of roll upwards. It went kind of sideways quite quick. So it'd be interesting to see if he thinks that might have been the ball or it was his actual stroke. It needs a good half ball cut here with a bit of pace. I'd be leaving this too short. Yeah, good power forward, but he's cut it the wrong way. Yeah. But the pace of the shot was perfect. But a very long roll now to 1 back. If there's anything good about it, it's a nice angle to be approaching 1 back. You can throw it in there for a bit of strength and give yourself a 2 to 3 yard hoop. As long as it's straightish, you should be in good shape. And that looks like good pace.
Oh.
And a fantastic shot. That's the shot of the
That is
shot of the turn and
That's-
required. Yes.
That is amazing from that distance.
Yeah. And his head dropped after he played the rush, and he quickly recovered to play the best shot of the turn so far. Fantastic.
It was an amazing shot. I think we might like to see that shot again, that split shot just before this, when he's coming
If
over
we-
towards the
yeah,
hoop.
when
Let's
he-
see if they can
If we
find
could
that
see the
for us.
rush before it as well, because I'm pretty sure he looked really quite disappointed with the rush, and so to be able to recover and put that croquet stroke back out straight away was great. So as a quick recap, he's up to 2 back, and he has 3 peels of the Sept tuple to do. So it's a very delayed triple peel finish in reality now. Means if you can get this blue over to 4 back and somehow get red up towards 4 back, he has a chance of peeling 4 back with a rush back down to 3 back. And if he's able to achieve that, you would probably put Robert at about a 90% chance of finishing the Sept tuple. So he's going to have to play it's a perfect shot actually. It gives himself enough room to put red to 4 back and get yellow over to 2 back. So it's all going to depend on this shot, how well he can get red towards 4 back.
So let's just watch that rush first.
I don't know,
This is
roll,
just
the
that
roll.
very
No,
brilliant,
that's right.
just very
Other
brilliant
elite,
roll.
just
This was what
roll.
you're saying, shot of the tournament.
Uh,
Amazing shot. Okay, thank you. So now we're back to, we've hit red. Yeah.
If
So
you can
now
get that
he's
red
got to
up
get
towards the blue and some sort of controllable rush on black towards 2 back, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's one of those even numbered hoops where you can hit to the boundary. So it is, though, quite important for Robert to get this red right up there. He doesn't want to be rushing it into 4 back too far away. So this one he'll be taking a bit of time, because the last big croquet stroke when he was going peeling 3 back, he got a bit wrong. So I think he'll be just slowing the shot down and putting a bit into it. It's a good shot. Look where that red's going. It's
Has
very
got
good.
a rush.
It's not too
You're
bad,
saying
Kate.
a
As I say,
rush.
he only needs to get this black a couple of yards away from the hoop, and he'll be able to run to the boundary on it. Yeah, that's a good shot. It's possibly a little bit close because you do want to be able to get this rush back up to 4 back after the hoop, but you don't want to have to control the hoop too much. You still want to be able to play the hoop run with a bit of freedom, taking any chance of getting too much wire. So you're putting a little bit of stop shot into this. I don't think you'll be driving it too much.
Absolutely exemplary how he prepares for every shot.
Oh, it's good. It's got good distance between the hoop and black ball, so it allows Robert to play this run with a bit of pace to control it better. Yep, very good. And now just needs one good rush. Now this rush doesn't have to be perfect. He'd like this rush well up past the peg and towards the blue and the red, but he just wants good solid contact on this black ball. It's a bonus if it goes right on the money. Yeah,
Oh,
good.
look at that.
I mean, a little bit wayward out to the left, but all workable.
He can bring it back in on the next shot, can he?
Yeah. And he's coming on for a good angle onto the red, yes. No, it's not too bad.
So yellow
He would like to.
is now for yellow is now
Three
for
back.
3-back. And red, is he going to peel red before he goes to 3-back? What's
Yes,
he going to do?
yes, very much so. Well, he'd certainly like to get it into the jaws as a minimum, and then he'll rush blue down to 3-back. As I say, if you can get this peel now and or jawed, I think Robert's probably above 90% to finish the sextuple. But if the red doesn't get into the jaws, it probably drops right down to 50%. Hope it's not too harsh on you, Robert, but that's where it lies at. And I think looking at this setup, he's going to possibly finish the sextuple.
Quite awkward,
So
though,
he's looking
isn't
to cut
it?
the red.
Because,
Yeah, he's got the blue's close to 4-back. It means he's got to cut to 3-back. It's because blue is quite tight.
quite awkward for where he puts red and then how he can play onto blue.
Yeah, and you don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he would have liked a little bit more.
Clever. How clever. He's going to do it with a cut. He's aiming to have not too much cut.
Yeah, and he's not putting much pull on the shot. He's playing this pretty well, just off straight. So he knows the important bit is to get the rush on blue. And as long as red, as I say, is in the jaw, it's everything's on track.
That's
Very
gone through.
nice. He's a bit of cut in this, Kate, but he's certainly capable of playing it with pace and
Quite a
power.
bit. But this was more or less where he wanted to put it. I think it was close to the
It
point he
was, yes,
indicated.
yep. Mostly the way down there, we think. Not too far off. Pretty good. Pretty nice shot.
Is it? It's not in that horrible place dead in the middle of the hoop where it's very hard
I think
to
it's
take
just
off
east.
behind.
I think it's just east enough that he can just slide past that leg.
The death spot. But it's not. It's to one side. What a beautiful weight. I'm just full of superlatives, and I feel every time he goes to strike the ball, we should all be absolutely silent and still so we don't distract him.
I know. No, I feel the same way. You feel like you don't want to talk too loud in case it puts them off. Silly stuff.
Yeah. Just a little rock on the croquet ball.
Yeah, you won't want to run this too clean because you won't want the longest return roquet, which then chances the blue getting snagged around the hoop. So you'll be just playing it. He took the risk of hitting the blue.
Oh, he thought he'd put the blue where it was going to be hit on the way
Yeah,
through.
he's got unlucky. It's cleared it all together.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Okay, so more work to do there, Kate. I didn't expect that to.
No, you were saying exactly the opposite. You were saying just nice, gentle little through so he can.
I could see
on the return,
yeah.
and here he is going to the other end of the court. Absolutely the opposite.
He must have thought that was guaranteed of hitting the blue. He was probably surprised that it got past, so far past it.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
luckily, he's already
he's-
done his peel here.
yeah, but he's Robert Fletcher. This is just another challenge for him to sort out. Sure.
So he's going to send down to Penult, red down to Penult, and rush black across to.
I think so. Yeah. Unless he puts red to Penult and rushes black to past blue and wants the blue ball again, but it looks even tight to rush up to 4 back. So I think what you called is probably the right line of play. He's looking at it.
Oh,
I mean, to finish the turn, it is better if he has all 4 balls up and towards Penult.